the amount of lift I got by putting bigger tires on my new Toyota Tacoma and continuing the orangification of my magnetic gray metallic truck. Everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive, and we're going to get to how much lift did I actually get by putting larger tires on my Toyota Tacoma. We're going to measure it, but first I got to do a little orangification of the skid plate that was originally on my Voodoo Blue Tacoma. Now before we start, I know it's not a TRD, but it's a Toyota part and it's going to go on this truck. Let me point you down here. What I did today, I actually recoated it, fresh coat of bed liner, to get it ready for the new truck. Had a couple chips here or there, nothing bad, but I wanted to go ahead and redo it a little bit, I guess, by just putting some more paint on it to get it ready for the new truck. It's going to go on the front, but I wanted to change the color of the stickers too. It did have Voodoo Blue in here. Now obviously we're going with Inferno Orange. That's right, Inferno, just like Toyota's Inferno. So these are easy to do. You just take the originals off. If you've just gotten the new skid plate, which by the way, you can get this from Sparks Parts, there is a discount code RobMotive for 5% off. As far as the letters go, they come from Tough Skins. Here's the part number. Get it to focus on there. And that part number is for orange specifically. So if you're thinking about doing this, make sure you get the right color. There is a discount for these folks, Tough Skins, and it is RobMotive 10 for 10% off your order. Again, these just stick on. Double-sided tape, we're gonna peel it off, stick these in the place of where the old ones, it comes red by the way, were in the beginning. Now, one other thing I wanna mention before we do that, the durability of these things, I've never had any problem, and I gotta say, I even ripped the old ones trying to get them off, and some of the adhesive is still on. Not concerned about that because it's just gonna stick over it anyway. So, let's go ahead, just be a little careful when you peel these off. You don't wanna bend the letters, they will crease, and you don't wanna do that obviously. And I do realize it's gonna be under the truck, but still, why not do it carefully the first time when you're doing it. So, just has double-sided tape, got to peel the covering off. That sometimes can be a chore because it is double-sided tape, but I find these letters tend to peel off pretty easily, so not really a big deal. Go ahead and get the rest of that off. Now, you just want to stick this on there. Shouldn't be too difficult to do, I hope. And it is rather fresh paint, by the way. I did just get done painting it, and I'm putting them on while the paint is fresh because I want to have the paint dry and maybe hold them on there a little better too. That's how I had done the blue ones, and that seemed to work really well. The paint's not wet, but it's still just the slightest bit tacky. So just give it a little push, put it on like so, and that's all you really have to do. They will adhere, and like I say, they're never going to come off. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest. You guys get the idea, and then I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, it is done. This is what it looks like. There's the broader angle for you. I think it looks pretty sharp. It's just a neat little aesthetic thing to make the skid plate pop. Again, this is orange. It's going to be the theme of my new magnetic gray metallic. I have just a badge over here so far, not much orange on it yet. And don't get me wrong, there's not going to be an overwhelming amount. I think probably the last external thing I'll do are some shackles with demon brackets on the front. I think that'll look good, and that'll probably be about it on the outside. Just some subtle touches, I think. Now, let's get to the main part, and that is how much lift did these larger tires actually give me on the Tacoma? Okay, I've got your old standard tape measure here, and I'm measuring from the floor. My floor is level, I've actually checked, and up to, straight up the center, right about here on the fender is where I measure. So, let's go ahead and take a look, see what we get. I'm trying to finagle around so you guys can see and I don't block you. Looks like we're a shade over 37 inches here in the rear. So that's a shade over an inch. It was about 36 inches before I put the tires on, and that makes sense because the tires are supposed to increase the height by about 1 point some odd inches. So we're now 37 inches in the back. Let's go around and check the front. In the front, we were at 34.5 inches. So let's see where we end up now. Again, straight through the center line of the truck, or the tire rather, the wheel. And it looks like, let's see, get this thing steady. Looks like we're about 35 and I'd say 3/4, about 35 and 3/4 inches. So we gained about what, 1/4 inch or 3/4 inches, I would say, right about there. We were at 34.5. We are at 35 and 3/4. So we got a little bit of lift, not a ton. Again, it's supposed to be 1 point some odd inches. I'm real curious. Let's go around to the other side, see if we end up with the same measurement. You know, the Tacoma is supposed to have this lean, right? So again, over here we're at 35 and we'll call it 3/4. Let's see what the other side is. Okay, over here we're on the driver's side now. And let's see. Again, this isn't exact. I mean, I'm trying to get the tape measure in the same spot, but you know. Looks to be identical to me. 35 and 3/4 right here. So I would say we're level side to side. Let's go ahead and check the rear while we're at it. Why not? We're over here. See what we get back here on the driver's side rear. Again, same thing, straight up through the center line is the idea. If I get it straight there. And we're at about just a shade under, it looks like, 37 inches. So I would say we're pretty much the same all the way around. All right, so there you have it. Looks like we gained 1 inch in the rear and right about 3/4 of an inch in the front, which is kind of strange because you'd think it'd be the same, 1 inch and 1 inch, right? I mean, the tires are the tires, but again, there's probably a little bit of wiggle room in those numbers as well, a tolerance. So 1 inch in the rear, 3/4 in the front. Do you really need to lift the truck? You know, I talked about this recently in another video. I'm going to go with it like this for a while. I kind of like the way it's sitting. I like that it's almost level looking. Anyway, I know it's not exactly perfect. It's off about 1 inch, I think, is where I had measured before. Something like that, as opposed to the typical 1.5 inches. So not exactly level, but I don't know that you could pick it up a lot with the naked eye. I guess you can. The fenders are a little different shape, so it's kind of hard to see it exactly, but sticking my fist in there as opposed to the back, you can definitely see there is a height difference. You're never going to have that the same because they're not shaped the same. If they were straight level across, then maybe you could measure it that way. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. That's the way it ended up. So if you go with a 265/75 R16, at least on my truck, you can expect about 1 inch in height difference in the rear and about 3/4 or so, give or take a hair, in the front. Perfectly fine for me. I see no reason to lift it anymore at this point, primarily because I want to retain the stock ride, the stock comfort, the stock handling, everything as stock as I can with the way that it is. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Would that be good enough for you? Or do you have to go higher, sacrificing a bit of ride quality and comfort in the truck? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra, and RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.